Hello everyone, good evening. This is Shamini Chakraborty, MBBS 23 batch SMIMS and the Secretary of Academic and Research Committee. We are here today with a very special person and one of our beloved secretary and alumnus of our esteemed institution. So today we have with us Dr. Udit Narayan Mahapatra, alumni of SMIMS and the one secretary of SMARC, who recently cracked and received a stellar result in NEET PG 2025. After surviving the MBBS experience of stress, sleepless nights, internship duties, and endless revision cycles, we are really proud of him from the SMRC family. He opted psychiatry at one of the most premier institutes, SSKM Kolkata, proving that the person who spent years to understanding hostel madness is now professionally qualified to understand actual madness as well. Alongside academics, he had this rare talent of turning random hostel evenings into unforgettable stories, half of which people still laugh about, and the other half nobody fully remembers. He also maintained a strong focus on fitness and mental resilience during his preparation journey, something many aspirants struggle with. In this session, we will be sharing practical advice, preparing hacks, mistakes to avoid, and the insights from his own NEET PG journey that can help the future aspirants prepare more effectively. Good evening, sir, and welcome to this session.
Thank you, Shavnik. Thank you for such a unorthodox intro, and I'm glad to be here. So I'll try my level best that I can help others via this interview.
Thank
So
you so much, sir. So, sir, starting off, sir, with the first question, sir. What was the one study pattern that helped you clear NEET PG?
I'll answer this in one word, and that is consistency. I believe it doesn't matter like in comparing the hours you put in is I think compared to that, the efforts you put in every day is more important. Like, let's say you study 16 hours on day one and only 2 hours on day two. So it's not going to help you in the long run. And as we know, this NEET PG exam is a marathon, or like people call it, the rat race. Like I call it the Chuha Dod Pratyogita. So being consistent is way more important, like turning up every day, be it for even for half an hour or even 45 minutes or let's say 1 hour. That is more important than bombarding yourself with like aaj 24 hours padhte hai, 18 hours padhte hai, and you'll be set. So consistency is very important in this exam or prep phase.
Thank you, sir. So, what are the best platforms that we can use for preparation, and what is the most reliable and useful resources that they have?
Yep. Platform wise, I believe every platform is equal. It's nothing like something gives you extravagantly different. All are the same. It's just what suits you better. Stick to one platform, and you may find like a faculty from a different platform to be better. Maybe you find surgery better in Marrow than compared to Prep Ladder. You may find pathology better in Prep Ladder compared to Marrow. But that's everyone's individual choice. And just stick to one source. For me, I did cerebellum, and along with that, I did GTs from Marrow because, in my opinion, I believe Marrow's GTs are like the gold level. Like they do it in a very well manner way, and that's how I went on with it. I also supplemented with BTR, but I believe BTR should not be an individual's like primary or sole source for the prep. So just stick to your platform. And one more thing to like, what I can say is that your resources don't make your rank. Your decision making on in those 3.5 hours, that will make your rank. So out of FOMO that यार मेरा दोस्त PTR कर रहा है, मेरा ये दोस्त dams कर रहा है, and I'm stuck at home. So focus on one and stick to it. Have faith on yourself for that much.
And so, what about standard books that like we are bombarded in college, like read standard books?
So about standard books, okay, standard books, to be honest, are your how to say, your building blocks in MBBS, and you should stick to them at least for the first and second years. No doubt, in both INI and NEET PG, questions generally come from the standard books, and all these coaching platforms, they try to have in their guidebooks keywords from the standard books. But what I would say is that follow those standard books at least in the initial phase of MBBS. I believe people can't study Harrison. A lot of people can, no doubt. But if you feel like voluminous books like Harrison or Williams are not your cup of tea, switch to a Indian author book. But and you can use your guidebooks of Marrow or Prep Ladder as a assisting tool. They should not be your main source. So that's how I believe standard books are equally important.
Like so some of us are like tend most of our friends or batches, even me also sometimes, so we tend to go to like, university exams or sessional exams, just we call
Mhm.
pre-profs or the professional, some may call it. So we go there just reading Maruka notes, just the
Yeah.
Maro notes, no, not books, because just we can't finish it. So is it okay in the long run or is it harming us in a way?
Standard books are helpful in the way that I would believe it gives you pseudo confidence, no doubt that chalo, I've done something different than my other batchmates. In the long run, it's hard to explain. Let's say NEET PG is your long end game goal. So it like it's an 19-20 ka antar. Okay. So like you may feel you have an edge, and sometimes you may feel you don't have an edge. What I believe is that day zero, say if you bombard yourself with MCQs and guidebooks, you don't have that much of it. It may hamper your, how do I say, building pathway. Example, when you start gymming, you don't immediately go and grab the 50 kg dumbbell. If you're doing that,
Right,
then you're
sir.
cooked. So similarly, I believe in also for a MBBS journey, start something simple. It doesn't have to be a hi-fi foreign author book. You can start with Anatomica, BDC or Vishram Singh instead of doing Grace. Again, Grace should be your guidebook, assisting book, not your main book. Similarly, that's how we used to go up. Like I know Abhi, like most people in a batch out of, let's say out of 200, 150 will jump to Marrow, studied completely for their exams and all. And I understand maybe times are changing and people are not finding normal standard books language up to the mark for them to understand. And it's not a very big issue, but at the end of the day, one should always at least, like a bird's eye view, like passive read a standard book so that, it feels, my whole MBBS career was not dedicated to Marrow.
Okay, sir. Got it, sir. So, sir, how did you balance your internship duties with the PGA preparation? Like so long
So,
duties.
yeah, yeah. So, I did not, to be honest, like, balancing. Now, thing is, internship, mein, you can do two things. Either you study or you enjoy. You can't do both together. You can't get both the good things of life. You have to compromise on either, or you won't enjoy either of it. And what I believe is that if a person wants to study during internship, there are three ways which I've seen. One is you can solve MCQs. Second is you can just watch those video lectures. But I always found these two methods not that helpful personally to me. Like, let's in a crowded OPD or a loud OPD or you're preoccupied with work, seeing videos are not that helpful. You're just passively seeing videos. And solving MCQs personally for me, I need a calm state of mind. Like, there's no point of solving MCQs if I'm not even reviewing them. So what I used to do if I had a chill OPD or like less patience or the PGs were happily allowing me chal theek hai, pad le. So I used to pick up any subject. Let's say I'm in ENT right now, OPD wise, ENT department. So in ENT OPD, I'll on YouTube search ENT PYQs or let's say NEET PG 2025. So I'm seeing the MCQs of PYQs and having an idea of how to approach this question. So in that way, you will have some confidence. Okay, I've seen some PYQs. I know how to approach, and so I believe this gives you a share of both. You're solving MCQs passively, and you're having an idea about the video lecture wise. And once you're done that, you can go back home and you can then study whatever you saw. Let's say one more thing in internship, what I believe if people want to study is that um, let's say you're an OBG and you delivered a baby. And once you go back home, I understand OBG is hectic and like long duty hours, people just go back and sleep. If you have the energy, you can go back and home and just go through the stages of labor and solve the MCQs like, okay, I did this today, this is the mechanism, and you'll have some idea like, okay, this is how a question can be asked in NEET PG. So that's how I manage, I would say, if I would call it, I balanced my prep during internship.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, like right now we are in third year, so we will be starting off with our NEET PG preparations from right now. So, sir, what mistakes that most of us can do during PG prep, sir, that you would warn us about?
Okay, so to be honest, this question has a lot of like every year, starting of first year, all to end of final year and internship, even post internship, people make errors. Okay, but before that, I would say there are some points like I believe that generalized people make mistakes. One is they believe that watching a 1 hour video lecture equivalents to studying. No, that just gives you a pseudo confidence or a belief ki okay, I've seen 1 hour of let's say um, GB cancer or gallbladder stones, and I feel okay, I've studied gallbladder stone. No, that just gives you a pseudo confidence and like हाँ कुछ पढ़े हैं. So um, if you're doing it that way, I'm not against it, but make sure you actually see your notes as well. Yeah, just completing the checklist from Marrow as if like okay, 300 videos of surgery, I've all seen it all, but if you don't remember it, it's not worth it. Secondly, I would say people get a lot of demotivation from one thing, which I believe it can be a controversial opinion of mine. That is our college ka top 10. So basically, what happens is that in my first and second year, we did not have this top 10. Okay. And people used to study there calmly, no, like, toxic competition nahi hota tha. But I've seen ever since the top 10 came, I've seen, friendships crumble, relationships break apart. And that's kind of not what it was meant for. And I personally believe chasing after a top 10 or a distinction or honors is just superficial, because at the long run it doesn't matter that much in my humble opinion. I may be wrong, and it's just a feather in your achievements. Like okay, so don't chase after these things. At the end of you are just going to be a good doctor. Just don't feel कि, okay मेरा दोस्त को मिल गया top 10, I'm not in top 10, that means I'm a bad doctor, because I was never a top 10 student. I was always second class student, below average or average student, and here I'm in front of you. So that's what I want to like tell people. Try to have at least some faith in yourself. Other than that, don't compare your own progress with others. There can be people in a batch who have photographic memory. Sadly, I was not one of them. So try to work on your strengths as well as a weakness. Now, coming to the errors or mistakes, a first year ka error, what is I believe is that um, they may be guided wrong. So I personally don't believe a first year should come into MBBS and day zero se hi start marrow. Okay, 6 months you are away from your parents maybe for the first time or the second time. 6 months is known as adjustment period in any language, even in a psychiatry also. And in those 6 months, get adjusted, get to know how MBBS is, then start studying again with the standard textbooks, not marrow. And your first year subjects, I believe, are like तुम्हारे घर का कच्चे building blocks. Okay, so take your time, understand how it works. Same goes for second year. Second year में क्या होता है ना, people get this become kind of confident or moxie, yeah, मैंने first year clear कर दिया है, तो life will be, easier than this. So yes, it definitely can be easier, but at the end of the day, at the same time, need to stay humble. And second year subjects, again, I would believe is the time you follow your standard textbooks of Robbins, KDT, I think Shanbag भी एक है pharma का, and micro का, I don't remember book
Apurva
का नाम.
Shastri.
I remember. Yeah,
Apurva
yes,
Shastri.
yes,
Yes.
yes. Thanks. So again, I believe after second year is a good time for a person to start actual NEET PG prep or MCQs, or actually start using uh, Marrow, Cerebellum, or Prep Ladder. Then in third year and fourth year, I believe these are 2 years where people, I would say, are very cautious, because that's the time when you actually start seeing patients seriously in the rounds. And like in your practicals, you also get patients, so you'll be like more cautious about it so that you don't fumble. So I believe third and fourth year are the least error zones where a individual can make mistakes. You can study, but I would say it's a good time to work on your clinical skills. I'm not expecting people to, diagnose the gallbladder stone just by palpation. I'm just saying the basic things that an MBBS graduate should know. And internship, mein, what people make a mistake, or I would say they are unable to decide is, should they focus on the uh, clinical works they are getting, like they are able to learn during internship, or their academics, which you need to have a fine line which one you have to choose. And make sure you go an internship as a humble individual who actually knows what he's doing. It will be very depressing if a MBBS graduate starts his internship not knowing how to take BP or pulse. Okay. Post internship, what happens is that people again have to focus if they want to uh, actually focus on NEET PG, or they will want to earn money. So you want to live away from your family's money. So we have this senior. When I was in intern, she was in OBG, and when we gave her a farewell, she said a very beautiful line that said, "कुछ भी हो जाए, internship के बाद पढ़ाई करो. Don't run after money." And I believed and I stuck to that. That's why I didn't take any jobs after my internship. I stayed at home, studied sincerely. And what I can tell individuals, people, juniors, in fact, is that अगर तुम्हारे घर पे बिना तुम्हारे पैसे के खाना आ रहा है ना प्लेट पे, you don't need to earn right now. ठीक है? You may feel like, yeah, my engineer friends are earning in lakhs and I'm just, stuck in my room and unemployed. But this is what the course does to us. But once um, you have clarity, you will figure out your way. Be it, if you want, you can focus. Like a lot of people after internship, they find a subject they want to pursue. They do their non-academic JRship and see if that subject is, they appreciate it or not, or if it was a wrong choice. And one more thing I believe people do wrong is a mistake after giving the exam. After giving the exam is a time to chill, man. It's not to, come back home and the first thing people do is let's check the recalls and all. No, just after exam, just go back, enjoy, go somewhere, party, do whatever, but do not immediately तो मत करो यार. At least 2 हफ्ता बात कर. मैं तो नहीं करता हूँ यार. So I would not recommend that. So these are all the mistakes starting first year to a long time people make and should not make, in my opinion.
So, sir, what influenced you to choose psychiatry as a subject?
Okay, so how do I say? Uh my batchmates always knew that I would choose pediatrics. Okay, like from day zero. So till internship, I was still, adoring pediatrics. Like I enjoyed my internship in pedia, and I felt ki it is a subject for me. So after internship during a prep phase, I started realizing little by little that pedia is more hectic, and I want a more less stressful life. So I ended up with three options. That was pedia, derma, and psyche. I was never a fan of radio because I wanted, patient interaction. And although I was able to get derma in peripheral regions by DNB, I had to choose between pedia and psyche. So in All India quota, in round one, I got pedia in Dibrugarh, Assam Medical College, and I was kind of happy with it. And in state quota, in West Bengal, I got SSKM psychiatry. So I was confused what to do. So I thought, let's give it a try and let's upgrade in All India quota. So in All India quota, in round two, I got Chhattisgarh for pedia. Now what happened in this uh, chaos? I got dengue. So I thought a lot, and I decided that I would try. Me being infected with dengue, completely fatigued and losing weight, I realized that I would rather be sick and treat psychiatric patients than being sick and treating ill child when that hectic life won't allow me to do that. And yes, psychiatry gave me a very, I would say, comparatively a better work life balance. Like if I want, I can come back home. If I don't want, I can stay in my hostel, जो पीडिया में नहीं होता. And sadly, Pan India, along with surgery, pedia is one of the claimed to be toxic branches. People who have non-toxic pediatrics departments are, it's a blessing in disguise, to be honest. So that's how it happened. Like I believe pedia was my toxic love marriage, which I aborted. Dharma was my fling, which I adored. And psychiatry is my arranged marriage, which I'm currently enjoying. So fingers crossed for that.
So, sir, I would like to ask you, sir, what was your rank answer? How can we take that as a milestone and improve so that we get our dream course or the subject?
So very few people know my exact rank because I personally believe your rank does not define your success. ठीक है, it's very weird saying it from this side of the spectrum. So my rank was 5945, 5945, which in my humble opinion is a average rank. It's not very good, it's not very bad. And people feel, like after getting a rank, they get pumped up. Some people get pumped up. I was very nonchalant in that aspect because no one actually gives a damn about your rank once you join residency. Neither your HOD is going to ask, at least in my case, no one's going to ask. Maybe your co-PGTs can ask. And nevertheless, no one gives much of a damn. Maybe your family will be more happy than you. Your relatives may start flexing about it. But other than that, no one gives a damn. It should, and that's, I believe, again, that I keep on saying that course, be it MBBS or MD, DNB or MS, it at the end, I believe a person should be humble and not to end up like people, like I've seen अभी के जो बच्चे who know they clear NEET UG and they're like, I was rank triple digit rank or 1K rank in the Insta bio, and like it doesn't matter at all, and patients don't give a damn about a rank. So I believe your rank is maybe celebrate, no doubt, celebrate your rank, and it's short term happiness because once residency starts, it doesn't matter in the long run. Like I said, in my college, we have 10 seats, and I'm a 5K rank person, and I have co-PGTs who are 20K and 30K rank. So it doesn't matter. We are both in the same field, in the same branch.
So, so likewise, we as students, sir, some of us stress about the results of NEET, sir, and rank. So, sir, what is your take on it?
How to like what is a decent enough rank? Again, it varies from person to person. What they want in life and what they want to aspire. Uh, if like current trend wise, surgical branches are not preferred that much by higher rankers, and so anywhere a rank between, let's say, 8K to 15K, you can get a decent enough seat for a government seat for, let's say, surgery, ortho, and ENT opta, be it MS or DNB. And For like the medical aspect branches, 4K, 5K, and 6K rank can also get you periphery MDs for medicine and DNBs. And even at this rank, I was getting DNB radio and DNB Dharma, which was, surprising for me because हर साल DNB के seats बढ़ते हैं, if not MD के seats. And if you're a hardcore believer that I want to do MD, or let's say for medicine, or you want MD radio Dharma, and a new and upcoming is, I would say, nuclear medicine. So for that, 1K to 3K rank, that's what people are aiming for. And if you're the lucky ones and very hardworking or smart working, if you're getting a single digit, double digit, triple digit rank, you're the boss of your own field.
Right, sir.
Take on it is that one should not feel stressed about this situation. And obviously, it's a very anxious period for anybody that feels ki it's a very uncertain period. One does not know how to react and how to cope up with the uncertainty. And one should, I think, keep themselves preoccupied because एक exam दिए हो and instead of worrying and every second moment googling कि अच्छा ये MCQ का आंसर क्या होना चाहिए था and all, I would say कि it's better to take a break, throw away your books, throw your tab, and just go on a trip maybe with a family, friends, anybody who is in the same boat as you.